Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Cook with Naki. If you're new to this channel, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by, and to my old subscribers, I want to say thank you for your love and support for the channel. On today's menu, we're making kontomire stew or palava sauce or spinach stew. Let's get started. For our ingredients, we need our spinach. That's the main ingredient for this stew. I'm using baby spinach. You could use any spinach of your choice. You could even use the frozen kind. I have my smoked turkey. I have my baked fish, mackerel, and puggy. I also have my palm oil, that is zomi, red oil. I also have my crushed tomatoes, pepper, and onion. I always crush it. I don't blend it to the smooth texture. I have my melon seed, that is egushi. I also have my momone, that is stockfish, my shrimp tablet, and salt. I have my onions and 4 eggs. I'm gonna start by soaking the egushi or the melon seed with some salt water. So I use about half tablespoon of salt and 1 cup of water. I mix that and pour it onto the melon seed or the egushi. So the salt helps the egushi to have that kind of chunkiness in your stew. You know how when you make egushi stew or kontomire stew, you want that chunkiness of egushi in the stew? Yeah, the salt helps with that. So make sure you mix this well and let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now let's start with our stew. So this was about 1.5 cup of red oil. You could use regular oil if you prefer. So I added my stockfish, that's my momone. If you don't have that, you could use your salted tilapia or kobe. Usually the stockfish or the kobe is to add flavor to the oil, but if you don't have any of that, just add your onions and trust me, it still tastes really good. So I make sure I break the momone into pieces. I don't want to have it chunky in there. I just want to make sure my oil is well flavored. So make sure you stir this to prevent it from burning. And I'm now going to add my onions to it. So this was 1 medium size of onion. I'm also going to list all the ingredients in the description box below. Let the onions cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, and after that I'm going to add my blended onion, tomatoes, and pepper to it. I always like to crush my blended tomatoes, pepper and onion because it gives it a different taste. If you always blend it in a smooth texture, that's also fine, but give it a try by crushing it, and I know you're going to love that taste too. So while the stew is cooking, I'm going to start by chopping the spinach, and I wash the spinach too, so always make sure you wash your spinach. There was no particular way of cutting this spinach. All I had to do is take a bunch of spinach, put it on the chopping board, and just cut it. There's no particular way. If you prefer to arrange it and cut it, that is so fine. But I did not have that time. I don't have that patience for that. So anyway, any form, I just cut that spinach and I am good to go. Remember, when you're in the kitchen, you're your own boss. Nobody is the boss of you when you're in the kitchen. So do whatever you prefer, anything you do to make you happy, anything you do to make the work easier. Remember, you're the boss in your own kitchen, so do as it pleases you. And now we are done with our spinach. Now let's head back to our stew. Our stew is doing good. It has been cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes. and the water content had also reduced, and that's how exactly I make my stew. I always make sure some of the water content has reduced. I'm now adding my smoked turkey. Remember, you could add any meat of your choice, any fish of your choice. And if you don't like any of that, just use any protein of your choice. And make sure you give this a stir. And make sure the stew is well mixed with the fish and the turkey. I'm now going to add my shrimp tablets. Remember, you could use any seasoning of your choice. I gave this a stir and I added my salt. And this was about half tablespoon of salt, and this is also to your preference, but make sure you do not add too much of salt. You see how the egusi looks, the melon seed? You see how the egusi has soaked up the water? That's exactly how you want your egusi to look before you put it in the stew. So now I'm going to crack the egg. I'm going to mix this egg with the egusi. The egg is optional. You don't have to use it, but it helps the chunkiness of the egusi when you add it to it. Make sure you whisk the egg well before adding it to the egusi or the melon seed paste. Now mix all this together, and I'm going to show you how to get some chunkiness of egusi in your palava stew, palava sauce, kontomire stew, or egusi stew. So after mixing all this together, this can go straight into your stew. But this is how I make mine to get the chunkiness really well before adding it to the stew. So what I do, I take some part of the red oil from my stew and I add it into my frying pan. And I'm gonna fry the egusi paste with the egg like I'm frying like omelette, and that gives you that chunkiness. So you do this like you're frying your regular eggs, and trust me, you're gonna have all the chunkiness you need for your stew. And you see how that looks, right? Exactly like you're frying your eggs. And trust me, when you do this, you're always gonna get some chunkiness of egusi in your stew. Remember, you could still put the egusi paste straight up into your stew, and you're gonna have some chunks, but it's not gonna be as much as this method. So give this a try, and I know you're gonna love it. This is Cook with Naki. Remember, we're always learning something new. So please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so anytime I upload, you're going to be the first to watch. And don't forget to share my videos, like and comment. Thank you guys. Please do not eat this when you're frying the egusi or the melon seed. We're just doing this process to help with the chunkiness. I know it's tempting like eggs, like omelette, but please try your best not to eat it. Egusi has to be well cooked before you eat it. Otherwise, you're going to have diarrhea, and we don't want that. So now that we are done with our egusi, we're going to set this aside, and now we're going to head back to our stew. Our stew is doing good. It's been cooking on low heat, and we're going to add our chopped spinach. After adding the spinach, we're going to cover this and let this cook for about 7 minutes. So in about 7 to 10 minutes, you want to give this a stir to make sure the stew is well mixed with the spinach. As you can see, there's a little bit of liquid in the stew. That is just fine. This is from the spinach that I washed. Yeah, the droplets of water on the spinach. That is just fine. All you have to do is let this cook for a little while and all the water is going to evaporate. I'm now adding my fried egusi and eggs into the stew. I do this by breaking it into little chunks or any size of chunks that you want. Make sure you give this a stir. Make sure everything is well mixed together. And we're gonna cook this for about 10 minutes and our stew will be ready. So in about 10 minutes, our palava sauce, our egusi stew, our kontomire stew is done. It is ready. You see how chunky the egusi looks? Yes, if you do this method, trust me, you're always gonna have some big chunks of egusi in your stew. And also look at how beautiful that stew looks. This stew was so good. I had this with some yam. You could have this with some rice, some plantain, some gari, anything you prefer. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you make this at home and I know you're gonna love it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Until I come your way next time, this is Cook with Naki. Be good to yourself, be good to everybody. It goes a long way.